Testing, testing.
Turn on your microphones, please. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, in your package, you should have received the minutes for last month's meeting. Take a moment to look at those. Oh, let's do the
You want to do the roll?
roll call, please.
Okay, sure. Jay?
Here.
Shane?
Here.
George A.
Here.
Carol York's here. Carol Sick?
Here.
Barb?
Here.
George Warner is excused. Joel is
Joel, I haven't received anything from him.
from
so
him, okay.
Markham is absent.
Yep. Jim is excused. Tracy is excused. Frank?
Here.
Ron?
Here.
Do you have an extra pen?
No, this
Heck,
is yours.
that's my pen. I wonder where it went. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented. By Carol York, do I have a second?
I can second that.
Second by Barbara. All those in favor?
Aye.
I have to abstain.
Pardon?
I wasn't here. I have to abstain.
One abstinence, one abstain. Any not in favor? All right, minutes passed. Okay, we have some visitors here today. Who do we have? You came first.
I'm Judy King.
You what?
I am Judy King.
What did she say?
She's just giving her name. Would you be able to step up here, please? And if you're having it, thank you. And if you just press the button, you'll have the microphone. Thank
I
you.
didn't know I was to come up. I'm Judy King.
Judy.
Judy King, K-I-N-G. I live at 1117 Ohio Avenue.
Okay.
You can sit down if
Yes,
you like.
you have a
Oh,
sit down.
okay.
Join-
All right.
join the
I
party.
realize you're going to discuss me now.
We're
All
very
right.
friendly.
Oh, speak for yourself, Barbara.
I didn't realize that. Okay, I'm here in regard to a sweet gum tree that's on our property, that's raising our sidewalk and creating tripping hazards. A lot of problems. People have already they've stumbled, they've not tripped. The tree is just, the roots are all over the place, and it's such a danger. We've replaced the sidewalk now 3 times. And it's got to be replaced. I have pictures to show how badly the sidewalk is raised. If you'd like to see them, I can pass them around.
Ms. King, when was the last time it was replaced, the sidewalk? Do you know?
Last time we replaced, I tried to pull my bill. It's not been more than 6 years ago.
Okay. And were
Okay,
you part
we-
of the 50/50 grant at that point?
You know what, the 50/50 part really wasn't a bargain for us.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, we've had Carrot Top from the beginning. I think he replaced it the first time we had it replaced. The last 2 times we've had it replaced by somebody in Wildwood.
Okay.
Okay? We've had the house since 2000, so this will have to be our fourth time of replacing the sidewalk. And this time, it's so dangerous, but I don't want to do it. Plus, they're working on our street. They're doing the top part of Ohio. We, next year, will have our part done. I don't want them to have to do the street and then rip all this out later on and have more problems down the line. I think we're being proactive. We just had an incident at our church that there was a tiny little raise. We're at the Methodist church over here. It was only like 1/8 of an inch, and someone said she fell on it. Our church was responsible for $40,000. I have almost a 2.5-inch raise, and it goes straight up, and now it's affecting my neighbor's sidewalk also, which when we replaced, last time we replaced one of his blocks. Now we're going to have to replace 2 this time. So, would you like to see the pictures
Sure.
or no?
You can start over there.
So what are you asking?
I'm asking to have the tree cut down.
This is a street tree.
This is a street tree, right? It's a sweet gum. I have another tree on the street side also that's only 10 feet away. Otherwise, I would definitely pay to have another tree put in. But I don't think we need so many right on my property right there. Plus, just another 25 feet away is another great big one.
What is the other species of tree that's in the tree lawn in front of your house? Do you know what type of tree it is?
It's a sycamore.
Oh, it is?
It is a sycamore, yes.
Or
And it's not a great tree, believe me. It's a messy, dirty tree, but it's not creating the sidewalk issue that this one is.
here's some more, George. Yeah, Jay, I
And
looked at the tree.
Not only is it creating an issue, it's also creating an issue with our water lines and the sewer lines, because the roots are all on my yard side now, and they just keep growing and going back. And you can actually see them, and you can see in some of the pictures. It's a real safety concern, and I actually went through the rules and regulations for the shade tree, and it says in there, and I have to have my note here, but if any tree is a danger to the public, well, this is definitely a danger to the public.
I believe we brought this up several times, that when it's a street tree, each commissioner needs to take a look at it
Okay,
individually.
that's
and-
fine.
And assess and give an opinion on that. So-
I love trees. I'm not trying to take this down. I've been in the garden club for many, many years. I was instrumental in starting the garden at the Water Tower, instrumental in having us plant a tree there, because we needed something in the middle. We planted a beautiful oak tree. It's not that I want it down just because I want it down. I want it down to be safe. And if I replace the sidewalk, I'm going to have to do it again.
Well, it's
So,
your
this
district.
is my district, and I was unsure, and so I thought I would bring it to the meeting and have everyone take a look at it and ask Ron to give us an assessment, and then make a decision.
So I think we'll probably have to come and revisit this next
That's fine.
next month again, to give everyone a chance, because
Okay.
Okay,
several
what's the-
members
what's
not
the-
here.
What's the address?
1117 Ohio
Ohio
Avenue.
Avenue.
Ohio is after Cape May.
This is we're going to make an evaluation of the sweet gum that's on the
Yes,
sidewalk.
yes. Thank you.
Well, the object of the 50/50 program is to make a reasonably level and safe sidewalk and maintain the street tree. That's the whole object of the 50/50 program.
Well, and we've done that.
Pardon?
We've done that. The first time he did it, the second 2 times, we did not have him do it because
You've done it?
first time we had it done through Carrot Top, which I think is the person you use for the city with the 50/50. But it's actually so much more expensive than if you just pay for it outright.
You remember who did the work?
Carrot Top.
Carrot Top? The second time or first time?
The first time.
How about the second time?
No, he did not.
You haven't done anything the second time?
Yes, we've done it twice since then.
Okay.
We've replaced it 3 times now since we've owned the house.
Okay, you got the address down? Take a look at the tree. 1117 Ohio Avenue. We'll make a decision, the board, next month.
Chairman,
I can't see there'd be that much
Okay.
difference. Yes.
I'd like to make a recommendation that that Connie puts out an email for the other members who are not here, that may not be aware of this conversation, so they can go out there and look at the tree as well. So if
Yeah.
they're here at the next meeting, they can have a vote with some reason behind it.
Right. That's a good idea.
Okay. All right.
All right, well, thank you for coming in. We'll
Yeah,
have to,
we
we'll
hate
get
to,
back
hate to
you.
delay a decision on this, but I want to get the other members' input.
Of course, of course. Well, I thought they were going to be doing our street right away. They're not doing it till next year, but I have to get the sidewalk fixed. So another month isn't going to hurt, but I've got to get that done because somebody's going to fall and we are going to be sued with it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
I'm sorry.
Are you the Olsons?
Did you? Do I wait? Did you?
Press the button on that to go green.
Still on?
you
Oh,
go.
there we go. Brian Olson, 1022 Washington Street in Cape May.
Melody Olson, 1022 Washington Street, Cape May.
Okay, what can we do for you?
Well, we were here to, we submitted an application for to remove a tree that's on our property that's dying, and the committee recommended against it.
Where's the tree?
It's on the driveway next to the sidewalk.
Okay.
So we had it trimmed down, was it last year, Matt? Or last year, we trimmed down the top of it because most of the part of the top was dead. And the center trunk is still dying, and there's another trunk that's been hollowed out. It's either by animals or whatever, and that's also dying. That's part of the top, which is a fairly large section. So, I'm afraid that it's going to fall and either do damage to my car or to somebody who may be walking past it. And it's really just prolonging the inevitable because the tree is dying, and I would rather just, take it down before it does, injure somebody.
That's your district.
No,
No,
that, you
Joel.
checked that with Joel,
Oh, that's Joel's district? All right.
and I
Okay.
think you went. I also took a look at that tree. I'm not, that's not my district, but
Okay.
I go to look at the tree as vice chairman. And I noticed that tree, the center trunk, is rotted and hollow at the top. It's a large silver maple. And when they did construction, those are rather new homes on Washington Street. And,
We have,
what's that?
we have some pictures. If
Okay,
he has them on his
sure.
phone if he wants, if
Yeah,
anybody wants.
for the other commissioners. But it had to be topped because everything above is dying. And I noticed that mulch is really,
Mounded.
yeah, which it shouldn't be. But I don't think that's having the impact. I think that tree was damaged most likely during the construction
Yeah.
of the homes. And that was one of them that we wanted to try to preserve when they were building those two homes. The other house next door had two large ginkgos, some of the largest in the city, and we wanted to make sure those were saved. But in doing that, this tree was still damaged anyway. So, and it's a silver maple, and it's got a lot of issues, in my opinion. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody else wants to weigh in on that, but.
I think I had a discussion with Joel on this, on Ohio Avenue. And I indicated to him that a hollow tree doesn't necessarily make it a dead tree. So being hollow is not an indication of a tree that has to come down. According to my studies and work and listening to discussions at the Shade Tree Federation in October, hollow tree loses about 20% of its, maybe 10 to 20% of its stability by being hollow, because nothing is happening on the inside of that tree, nothing. There's no water going up, there's no starches and sugars coming down. Everything on that tree is happening in the first inch and a half from the bark. All the water goes up, all the starches and sugars come down. I think I mentioned to him that without really looking at it, I had mentioned to Joel that the hollow tree is not necessarily a dead tree. Now, you indicated, George, that this might be a little bit different situation, that tree might be,
It's not just hollow, there's actual rotting that you can see on the main trunk that goes up.
okay.
And it's been cut back to the point that it's severely topped, that it's,
Oh, yeah.
and it's,
Yeah, it looks like
and I
that,
don't think that's even alive, that part.
looks like you got a bear living in there. I mean, yeah. That's a big enough hole, that's a raccoon or something. Oh, yeah.
So that's the other part of it,
You don't have any picture of it last year, if it leafed out at all or anything like that by any chance? If you're like me, you've got 11,000 photos on that phone.
Probably just like fun.
I know. But I'm just curious if it was leafed out at all, or how,
Are they the ones that were built for town?
So George, is it your opinion that you feel that?
I mean, I don't think there's a lot of purpose to try to save that
That's
particular
what I
tree.
feel too. I mean, if you had it topped and
It's
it's
been-
still rotting.
Well, you can
fine.
see the photos
I'll
if
take
you
a
want
look
to take a
at
look
it,
at them.
George,
Okay.
where are these homes? You said they were new?
Well, relatively new, they're what, 5 years?
2020.
20,
They were built in 2020.
so 5 years, I was right.
Oh, okay. Like near the tennis courts, on the other side of the tennis courts? Okay.
That's why we had it cut back. We didn't ask to take it down at first.
Yeah.
We had we had it cut back because it was all in the wires.
I can see it from
And a
here.
big branch had fallen.
Yes, it is.
So when that big branch fell, that's when we had it cut because we knew, it's all inside the wires.
Yeah.
All those dead part is still, so that's why we cut the top. Because we were trying to leave it at that. But now it's rotting all the way down.
It's a shame, it was damaged.
You were the one that stopped it over at our house, like on Memorial Day weekend a couple of years ago, and you were talking about the ivy that was growing up and around the
Right.
tree and how it was going to kill it. So I did
Yeah.
go at the bottom of the.
So that ivy, we,
And ripped everything off
Right,
the bottom of the tree.
it's coming back to me
kill
now.
that.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
and we
All you
tried
have
to get rid of the ivy.
All you have to do
Yes.
is
Right.
from the
Cut
ground
the
up
ivy,
two or
we
three
tried,
feet.
yeah.
That's
It'll
what I
die
did.
back up on, it'll look like heck for 1 or 2 years till it all dies off of there, but eventually it'll stop putting too much weight on the tree. Well, judging from the information we received now, I'll entertain a motion that we can remove that tree and waive the $75 removal fee.
I'll put that motion forward.
And I'll second that.
All those any more discussion? Girls?
I do have one question. Do you plan on replanting any type of tree there in that area?
We could, probably not there, but maybe in the back.
Okay.
Because it's right next to our driveway. So if we plant another tree there, we're gonna have, that starts to fall, it's gonna fall right on our cars. We did not build the house. We bought the house after it was built. So, with what you're saying, I think it would have been wise if they had shifted the house away from where the trees were. It
Well,
would have
we
saved-
suggested that.
It would have saved the trees. Yeah, we did
Yeah.
not build, we bought it after it was completely built.
Yeah.
And now we're dealing with all that now, but we see that they damaged, it
Mm-hmm.
kind of was damaged.
And we had to take another tree down last year for the same reason.
Yeah.
See,
That was,
that's before, excuse me, that's before our ordinances
Yeah.
changed, so construction doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There's an example
Yeah,
of
exactly.
a waste.
Yeah. So,
All right, do we have a vote? All those in favor, remove the tree, waive the $75 removal fee, and plant a tree someplace else in the yard, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstain?
Can't do anything.
Make a check out to this, oh, no, you don't have to make a check out to this.
check out to me,
Make a
sure.
check out to me, no.
I think the cold weather has affected.
And you'll be happy to know all the the rest of the ivy is gonna be ripped out.
And the
From
bamboo.
the other trees,
I've been dealing. with
yes,
that
our
for years
landscapers
and years and years. It's
well,
all-
I don't know if you've gone past our house, but that ivy is all gone. And then we
That's
ripped out a whole bunch on the other side, and now the rest of it he's doing now, because spring is starting. Our landscaper is,
Terrific.
yeah, we're trying,
Yeah.
yeah,
That and the bamboo in the back.
and the bamboo.
That's,
Yeah,
Bamboo,
Really?
right?
yeah. No,
We had to
we're,
remove too.
we're seeing what's happening with it, yeah.
Okay.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're
good day.
welcome and all
Thank
the
you.
best of luck with
Yes, thank
everything.
you.
There's a mat. There's a mat, isn't it?
So you will plant another tree someplace in the yard? Someplace in the yard. All right. Okay.
Can I say something?
Jay,
But,
Matt wants to speak.
yeah, Matt, go ahead.
Matthew Notch, Top Notch Tree Care, 295 6th Avenue, West Cape May. I'm going to be the contractor on this job, and I recommend a removal. And it's unfortunate because construction damaged a lot of these trees in this property. Without mentioning names of the contractor, it's been done multiple properties, and these trees all could have been saved. And
Well, we have now the ordinance in effect that they're required to put a barrier around these trees before they begin deconstruction and reconstruction of these properties. Now, that hopefully will help some of that.
And part of the planning
Pardon?
process too, I went by before this was done, when they were demoing the house, the layouts that were approved was kind of ridiculous. So
Right.
I don't know, someone from the planning board just looked at everything on paper and said, oh, it looks good, setbacks are met. I don't think there was any ground truth. I don't think anyone even went out there and said, there's no way we're going to be able to put a house. This was the property that we lost probably the largest oak tree in Cape May a few years ago. The tree was literally 2 feet from the foundation of the house. They severed every root on that tree. The tree had to be removed. But the plans were approved to put the house where it was, which was like 6 feet from the property line. This oak tree was about this big.
Yeah.
And they were 2 feet from it.
How far from the?
16 inches, 24 inches,
Yeah,
this oak
that's
tree
too
that big
close.
was next to the tree. But my point was, like, there was the whole planning process happened on this property, and it was poor planning. 2 houses should have never gone in there. They should have been shifted over. The trees should have been removed prior to building a house next to it, because you know the tree's going to die. Because my client on the other side was worried about that tree falling on her house, and they cut every single structural root in that oak. It had to be removed. My point is, like, I'm glad the ordinance is being updated with barriers around trees, but I think, in West Cape May, I volunteer in a shade tree. We're involved with the planning board too, so we see the plans for the houses and relevant to where trees are, so then we can make good they're gonna put a driveway next to that tree. The tree's gotta be removed. Can they move the driveway over a little bit? Like, there might be some flexibility in there. This didn't happen on these two. This was one house, and they put 2 houses, and it was really poor planning.
That was that large ranch house that was there, and they were actually going to remove one of the ginkgos at the other house that was there, and we talked to the builders, and they at least agreed to, that was the contractor that at least agreed to shift that so that they could save that other ginkgo. But in doing that, they must have moved this house, more closely. But at that point, we had no say about any of that. We just gave opinions and things
Right.
like that, and,
Right.
but hopefully this ordinance will work in our favor in the future.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. Well, we, the construction office hands out our protection sheet on the plans that they're required to put a barrier around existing trees that are going to remain. And if they don't have enough room for egress or entrance or exit or stuff, the alternative is to put down a 6 to 8 inch chips mulch barrier and top that with particle board, sturdy particle board or plywood to allow vehicles to drive in and out over the top without compressing the roots to where it hurts them. And that's handed out by the construction office. On Monday next, St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to appear before the HPC and make a plea to give them what we do, requirements for protection of trees on property to go with their object of maintaining the exterior of some of these Victorian houses down here. So we get on their aboard, with them aboard us, we can have two people, both the HPC and the shade tree, represented when they first come in for some of these plans, and we can avoid this construction work problem. So we'll see what happens. No, the chairman of the HPC seemed to be very receptive to that, so I'm going to appear before him on Monday.
Yeah, our house, like, if you look at our house, it could have, I don't know why they put it right up against the other tree you took down, instead of putting it like in the middle, and they could have made a driveway between the tree. I mean, we bought it after it was already built.
Yeah.
We owned another house in KMA, so we're very about
Yeah.
preserving it for, we lived on Missouri for 12 years. We had a house there before this house, so
Yeah,
we were,
yeah.
once we got in there, like, oh. All right, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Arbor Day. The school is out during Spring Day, during Earth Day 4/22 or Arbor Day 4/25, but on 4/28 they're going to go back in school, and they proposed a book reading for the Arbor Day. So if that's okay, if anybody is able to come and read a book on 4/28, which is, what day of the week is that?
That's what I'm just looking at. I think it's a Tuesday,
Monday.
Tuesday?
Monday.
April 28th. Yeah, it's a Monday.
Yeah, no. Yeah, 4/28 is a Monday. So let Connie know, that that you're able to go and read a book to some of the school children, some of the classes. I'll try to be there.
You talking to me?
I'm talking to you. I know you did
I
it
did it last year.
last year.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm grandfathered in now, so. Okay.
All right.
Carol, do you want to do
I see, we have a,
the morning shift, and I'll take the afternoon?
You can take bigger kids, I'll take.
Okay.
what do we have here?
George, did you read a book about trees? Is that what you?
I did more like an Earth Day thing. It was about pollution and stuff like that, but they also,
Oh, here it is.
to read, but I didn't use theirs. I just used mine. Yeah.
Ron, you got a copy of this application for a resolution for a bid for the trimming, maintenance, and whatnot?
Yes, I did. Yep,
Okay.
I have
You
a
have to
copy
bid
right
on
here.
that, right?
Yes.
All right.
That's my packet.
Pardon?
That's my packet I was going to explain
Okay, go
during
ahead.
my portion. So the city wanted to pass this resolution at the last council meeting. When it comes to professional services, when you reach a certain limit, you have to go out to bid. This was, it was put out to bid 8 years ago, but for some reason we haven't done it since. And it'd be more on the, on the up and up with the state laws. This is something that we have to do. So I had asked city council if we could table this to the next council meeting so that I let all of you be aware that this is what we're doing, so you're not left in the dark. And also give Ron an opportunity to be aware of it as well. So
So
this
this
is,
is going to be voted on when? Once you get the bids in, certain period of time?
well, we're going to vote to put this out to bid on
Right.
Tuesday. And then once we get the bids back, then the city council will decide.
Okay. But in the meantime, we can continue giving jobs to Manir as they occur, can we not?
Right? Is that okay?
We,
Continue using Manir?
Yeah, we're going to continue our normal process until the bids go out.
Okay.
Also in this packet, it's about 3 pages to the end, gives a little bit of information about the space tree. Folks don't know about the space shuttle tree. It's located right next to the Colonial House as you come into City Hall from the parking lot. The space shuttle tree was, its seeds were brought to space and brought back, and then auctioned off in the state of New Jersey. City of Cape May was one of the winners of the, not auction, raffled off, was one of the winners of the raffle, and we received this tree. It was planted here, and it's in dedication to the astronauts of the Challenger who have, perished in that disaster. So some of us at the city were thinking to ourselves, since it's grown so big at this point, it's kind of outgrowing its location. It's between the parking lot and the brick sidewalk next to the Colonial House. And there was just some discussions about possibly moving it to another location. So to get the information that we're looking for, whether we can or can't move this, I called Mickey Riggins, who's a tree expert. He came down, looked at the tree, and he explained to me that because of last year's drought, it wouldn't be a good idea to move it. He showed me the different growths on the branches between the needles. He made a recommendation to fertilize the tree. If we decide we want to move it, we should probably cut the roots around the tree for this year, leave it alone for a year, and then move it. So that way it's not such a big shock to the tree. This is something that we're still outweighing. I just want to make this, transparent for the Shade Tree Commission to be aware that we're thinking about this. And if we were to move it, it would be probably somewhere more visible, possibly at the new Lafayette Street Park, for people to be, for the kids to learn about this historical tree. We're not moving any further yet, but Mickey Riggins offered to, fertilize it, thank you. And he said he'll do that at no charge. So that's where we are with that. I don't know if anybody has any opinions about that.
Well, I was there for that ceremony. I remember that very well. And I had a lot of concern after that was planted that day of its continuing to grow, because it really took, you know how long ago that was. It really took a long, long time for that tree to even start to look like it was going to survive.
Yep.
So I have a lot of concern about, what's going on with the actual tree. But I think it's a good idea to maybe I think it would be wonderful to have a location where all of our tourists and everything can observe that tree. And it's significant. It's significant for its purpose there. So I'm in agreement with that, trying to see about what we can do about keeping that alive and safe in a nice location.
And by root pruning it, that, like he's talking about, that allows a denser root ball. So when you are transplanting it, it holds the root ball together and the dirt together a lot better. They do it in nurseries all the time. They go around them, actually, they do it every year. They go around it every year and cut the roots, and then smaller, fewer roots feed out from those big roots, and it makes a denser ball, and it's a lot better for the tree as far as transplanting. So,
I would like to add to that, because Ron, I said I was there for that ceremony.
Yeah.
I looked at them when they were putting the tree in the ground. I really felt at that time they had not done a deep enough for that root to go in there, that root ball. So I'm with you on that, keeping that safe.
The only, my concern is, though, with the size of the root ball, what type of equipment would we have to get in there to move that tree? Because that's going to be quite a large root ball, and where it's located, they usually have those.
tree spades.
Yeah. It could fit in there?
Yeah.
And currently, the cars parking there are touching the tree at this point.
Yeah.
So it's only, and I want to be very clear that this has nothing to do with the current reconstruction of the parking lot. This is an
No.
afterthought.
Yeah.
There's no change in designs whether this tree stays or goes. So I just want to bring that up. That's, whether we move this or not, the benefit is Mickey Riggins is willing to fertilize it for us for free. So that's a positive moving forward.
And that tree is significant. It's only one of 35 trees that were taken up in the space shuttle.
Right,
And we were lucky to win the lottery at the Shade Tree Federation meeting to get one of those trees. So it was around 2 or 3 years old, 3 or 4 years old, and about 2.5, 3 feet high when we got it in 2012 for Earth Day, or for Arbor Day. And we put it in, you can see by the picture there. I planted it with our Public Works employee, Fiore. And we put that tree in, and it didn't do much for 2 or 3 years. And all of a sudden, the last year, year and a half, it's 22 foot tall. And if it bothers the trees, the people in the parking lot or the Colonial House, you just trim some of the edges, some of the branches off. Not branches, but just some of the edges off a little bit. I don't agree with putting the tree back at the school at the entrance. I think if it's going to go anywhere, it should go where people other than just students are going to see it.
Correct.
Well,
It should be in the new park.
Well, the reason I brought, that's what I didn't mean to say at the school. I meant to say at the Lafayette Street Park, because there will be a lot more people
Busy.
traveling there because of the new trails that are going to be completed by this summer. So there will be more traffic to see this wherever we decide to put this. You know, this is just getting step one started. Let's make this tree healthy. Let's consider cutting these roots and making a stronger root ball, and then moving on from there with advice of professionals.
So we're gonna leave the tree where it is, do whatever trimming off the driveway and the Colonial House is necessary that has to be done, and gonna leave it there for the foreseeable future, at least until next year when, okay.
Yep. The next thing I want to bring up is that, George mentioned this. George and I met with the heads of the other boards and commission of the city. There was a great back and forth between the HBC and Jay about our needs and better communication. And I think the meeting went very well. So Jay's going to be at the HBC meeting on that Monday.
Next Monday.
And we'll move from there. So it was a very positive experience. I just wanted to share that.
I'm going to provide them with copies of our ordinance and copies of the letter that the construction office gives to any builders that come in about protecting trees. And with that, their object is to preserve the exterior of some of these houses. I think hopefully we'll have it pretty well covered.
Okay, the next thing I want to bring up is the tree list. I hope you folks got a chance to look at the tree list I designed. I really want some feedback to what I can take off there. Because if I take some stuff off there that you don't support, I can put other things in place of it, because there is a space issue. I also want to have another section dedicated just to, trees that are.
Native trees.
Native trees, thank you. So if you have any input on that, please let me know, so by this next month, I'll have the tree list on the internet.
Okay.
Last thing, the Tree of Heaven flyer that I designed has been printed, and it's going out to all the water bills.
It
So
goes right out with the tax bills?
the water bills.
Water bills, okay.
So we should be getting some information back. I'm going to be mentioning it at council meetings, as these leaves start to grow on these branches, we're going to be able to identify these trees easier, and we're here to get rid of them and help our local
Excellent.
locals get rid of them. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Shane.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Paul, you have anything? All right.
Paul, I just have a question for you. Did you get the email that I sent quite a while ago about suggested species for Franklin Street? I think I CC'd it to you and Connie. I don't know if I did it to you, Jay.
What is it? What was it about?
About this tree species for Franklin Street, suggested tree species for
Oh.
Franklin Street. Okay.
This is one of the ones they took out on the east side.
No, nothing was taken out. This is what's going to be planted on Franklin Street. I submitted some suggestions because they're native species, and a lot of them are native species. And the one that I would recommend is sourwood or wood sorrel tree. We have none in the city. We had one on private property on Washington Street, and that was taken down. And they're ornamental in the fact that they bloom early to midsummer. They get really bright scarlet leaves in the fall, and they're slow growing. So on the side where the East Lynn Theater and the other churches, there's wires, and that would be a good species to use there, in my opinion, because they're not going to become problematic for quite a long time, and they're really underused, and we don't have any.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right, anybody else have anything? Public Works? Okay.
No.
I have a question about the trimming from Atlantic City Electric. It was a different company that did the trimming this year, and I don't know if they're finished. Are they finished for the
No,
season?
they're
Does anybody know?
They're still doing some trimming
Okay.
in East Cape May. I've seen their trucks in there.
Some of the cuts are a little different than I would
Yeah,
have
they're
thought.
certainly not, yes.
They went up Ohio. It's terrible what they've done to those trees.
Yeah, I haven't been up there, but,
Just for the tree, they look horrible.
When they come in to do this trimming, they do it for 3 to 5 years. They take the suckers off, they V the trees and take, for their power lines, transmission lines coming in, and they take off branches that they don't have to do it again for a minimum of 3 years and maybe a maximum of 5 years. Sometimes they get really aggressive, and they really trim these trees. This new outfit this year has really done a lot of trimming.
What I've observed this year that they're doing is they're actually cutting down below the telephone wires, which they had never done before. It was always too below the electric wires, and they never messed. This year, they seem to be cutting down below the telephone wires, too. So it is a little bit more severe, but
and there's a tree now. I don't know if that was one of the trees, maybe. I don't know who took care of that tree. I think it's 1015 Washington Street. Was that one that maybe your crew did, Ron?
no, I don't believe.
This was the block between, oh my gosh, what is that street? Where the park is, Kiwanis Park is on, I can't think of the name of the street, Madison.
Madison.
So it's the next block on the left-hand side if you're going out of town. It's on the left-hand side. It's 1015, I'm pretty sure, is the address. And I thought maybe someone called to say that the branches were getting close to the house, but I can't imagine the people that worked for the electric company did that severe of a pruning, because the branches that are cut are large boughs. They're not even branches, they're boughs of this sycamore tree, and they were nowhere near the wires. So I don't know if they hired a private contractor to do that or what, but I think it would be a good idea if everybody would take a look at that tree.
What's the address?
I think it's I'm almost positive, 1015 Washington Street.
I think they've done other trees the same way.
Really?
1015 Washington Street?
Yeah.
Would that be on the south side of the street or the north side?
Well, I don't have my compass.
Be on the tennis racket?
No,
Tennis
it's the opposite side.
The opposite side.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's basically across the street from the house we were talking about earlier.
Oh, it's down lower on the street, though. Yeah, yeah, a little lower on the street. Closer to Madison. But
Okay.
I don't know who, cut that. But I can't, maybe the electric company did do that, but if they did, it was branches that wouldn't have interfered with the wires. So I don't know.
Okay, anybody else have anything?
I have another thing yet, I'm sorry. But last year, we sent a letter to the Virginia Hotel about removing the lights on the trees that are wrapped so tightly.
Right.
They're not only there, but they're on, in front of the West End Garage, which I think is still our district. Yeah, that's still ours. So, and that's fine for the wintertime, but now it's getting to be spring, they're going to be leafing out. We should send them a letter saying that those wires and lights should be removed, I believe, by April 1st at the latest, because otherwise you're going to be ripping the buds off and things like that, and they,
Well, they are city trees, too.
they are city trees. And last year, they really trimmed, if you want to call it trimmed, the trees in front of the Virginia, especially the one ginkgo. That's really, I don't know who did that, but we sent them a letter saying that they're not supposed to do that either. But I think we should send them a reminder about getting those lights off of the trees.
This is for Virginia Hotel?
Virginia Hotel and West End Garage.
And,
West End Garage,
George, if there's city trees, can't the city remove them, or?
yeah, but, I mean, I don't know that we want to,
West End Garage that's in West Cape May, isn't it?
No.
no,
still
it's on our
this
side
of Brook?
Oh,
of
okay.
Wilbraham Park. But I think, they can remove them, yes, but I would say, you know,
They
we can
prob-
probably, if they're putting, if the individual property owner is putting those lights on, I think, in my opinion, they should be responsible for
should.
taking them
But I
off,
mean, if
because.
they don't, can
Yeah.
the city
Oh, they
say
can,
they should?
legally, I'm sure that we can, but I mean, that's a lot of work, and some of those trees are high, you know,
Yeah, I
for the
know.
public works
Just
to
you
go
said
to.
it
Yeah.
had to be done by a
Yeah.
certain date, so I thought.
Yeah.
At the detriment of the tree.
Yeah. That's all I have.
All right, anybody else have anything for the good of the order? All right, hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I don't think I can make a motion.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
I'll
I have a
second.
Second by George, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Yay.
thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We